This presentation is titled as The Role of Media in Democracy. Introduction. The role of media in democracy has long intrigued both communication and political science scholars. Media has been espoused as the fourth estate, a watchdog and a platform that provides opportunity for public discussions. While this may aptly describe media in some developed countries, it may not be the same for the less developed or developing countries who see the role of media from different perspectives. In these developing countries, media is associated with development, often collaborating with the government of today for a greater good. For instance, the development of the nation. However, in some, if not most cases, the media has ended up being stifled in the name of development and national interests. Democracy requires for the active participation of citizens. Ideally, the media should keep citizens engaged in the business or governance by informing, educating, and mobilizing the public. The main concern of liberal democratic theory was to grant individuals civil liberties against the incursion of the state. As for Italian political sociologist Bobbio, once they are entrusted with the right to choose who governs them, are sufficiently well informed to vote for the wisest, the most honest, the most enlightened of their fellow citizens. Therefore, the defining characteristics of a democratic regime comprises of constitutionality, participation, and rational choice. The political participation is typically defined as direct citizen involvement in or influence over governmental process. For those who participate in the democratic process, they must comprise what Bobbio terms as a substantial proportion of the people. Here, citizens are given the rights to participate in politics and decision-making process through elections in the country. An election is the fundamental of a democratic society. Another condition of democracy is the availability of choice, where the citizens have the ability to exercise their choice rationally. Democratic theory also stresses the primacy of the individual. The political process, nevertheless, demands that individuals act collectively in making decisions about who will govern them. In short, democracy presumes an open state in which people are allowed to participate in decision-making and are given access to the media and other information networks through which advocacy occurs. From the perspective of communication, democracy entails the freedom of citizens to articulate their views in the public domain. It provides them the opportunity to exercise their right to engage in a discussion or debate and to offer criticism that collectively contribute to the common good of a society. Malaysian media and politics. For some, the Malaysian press emphasizes national unity and development and practicing editorial self-censorship. Ethnic diversity and economic disparity are sensitive issues, and to preserve order and stability, the government has defined the role of the press as promoting nationalism and development. Aziza notes that the role of the Malaysian media in shaping public opinions and perception about political, economic, and social issues has long been the subject of the study, speculations, accusations, and debate. Statistics show that Malaysia currently has more than 15 million internet subscribers. It is also interesting to note that in a decade, the number of registered voters increased by 50%, while internet subscribers increased 328.9%. Today, the internet penetration reaches 62.8% of the Malaysian population. Now we come to research objectives. Based on the above-mentioned scenario, the following are the aims of the study. The first one, it is to examine to what extent the new media shapes the perception of Chinese youth on politics. And the second, it is to explore the perception of Chinese youth on the new media and its role in democracy. The scope of the study covers Chinese youth aged between 20 and 24. Referring to the literature review, we are looking at the effects of online news on political behaviors in the US. And the second part, internet leads to additional political participation but does not trigger a shift from old to new politics. And the third area of the literature review, which we refer that to Syed Arabi and Kaizuran, explored the role of blocs and democracy in relation to a by-election in Malaysia.